Second review, here we go. Second review, here we go. Hey guys, what's up? This is Culture, your favorite albums, and today I'm going to be talking about the latest, the Armed album, Ultrapop. One word, Ultrapop. So the Armed is a noise rock, synth rock, hardcore band, and this is their latest album, Ultrapop. And yeah, I stumbled upon this album while browsing through the likes of Rate Your Music and Pitchfork. And yeah, it's originally I'm not that interested in this, but when I saw the two words noise rock, I'm like, ooh, noise rock. Just sign me up, baby. Sign me up. And yeah, I like while I'm not an expert in noise rock, as far as noise rock goes, most of the noise rock I've ever heard in my life, I also quite enjoyed. Daughters, Swans, Lightning Bolt, and Street Sects, which I will mention quite a few more times in this review because this band, The Armed, they actually sound very much like Street Sects, but more colorful and blissful, I guess. The title track very much implies that because it's a very blissful and washed out sort of reverby intro track, and I actually don't really like it all that much. I think it's a bit of a turnoff, and I think it's overly trying to be this life ascending, transcending thing when it's not. But the rest of the album is actually not that bad. We have All Futures, which is this really colorful and energetic, adrenaline pumping, noisy ass hardcore track that just blasts all these guitars and drums firing on all cylinders. It's very exciting and very blood pumping, and I really like it. And then we have Masunoga Vapors. Musunaga Vapors. And yeah, my handwriting is not the greatest. Masunaga Vapors. And this track is also very colorful and energetic, but this track is even more tight structurally, and the flashy guitars really reminds me of Daughters, especially off of their self-titled album. We have the track A Life So Wonderful, which also pretty much stays at that same lane, but I must say that the hook and the chorus is a little bit weaker. And we also have the track An Iteration, which is a very catchy single in this album. The verses are nocturnal and tongue-in-cheek. They're very catchy, and the chorus hits really hard. I really enjoyed this track. And we have these lyrics about white savior and other strange. It's the lyrics on this album overall is a little abstract, it's a little here and there, to be expected, and it's decent. It's decent. The track Average Death is more shoegazy and summery, which is an interesting direction that this band is going to. And yeah, I like the performances, I like the very flashy guitars and keyboards, and I like the overall tone of the track. Real Folk Blues is extremely noisy and chaotic, and also somewhat off-kiltered here and there, which I also really enjoy. Again, Street Sects kind of reminds me of that band, and it really shows on this track. The second last track is Bad Selection, and while I don't like the robotic vocals on this track at all, I think it just makes the track sound very static and stagnant almost. But the runny drums, the very watery, smooth bass, and also the very crazy chunky keyboards is definitely one of the instrumental highlights on the entire album so far. And the album ending, The Music Becomes a Skull, is a bit of a horror movie styled noisy track, which is very awesome. It's climactic, it sounds really scary, and it's a very epic ending to the album. Now, that being said, this album is also not without its flaws. There are tracks that I just don't quite like. Again, the title track and A Life So Wonderful, not really all that great. Also, we have a string of tracks towards the back half of the album, which I just think sounds kind of redundant. Tracks like Big Shell and Faith in Medication and Where a Man Knows Want are three ragers that don't really necessarily has anything going for it. Nothing all that colorful, nothing all that flashy, just kind of staying there. But still, performance-wise, it's got these strong performances, and I still enjoy this album overall. I wouldn't say this album is great, but I think it has a lot of potential, and the Armed may drop an even better album sometime soon in the future. Who knows? But for now, it's just okay, and that's just my thoughts on this. My favorite track here is an iteration, and my least favorite is probably Big Shell or a title track. I'm giving the Armed Ultrapop a strong 7 out of 10. So, if you listened to Ultrapop from 1 to 10 numbers, you rate it, like it, and subscribe if you want more, and thanks for watching. The next few albums I'm going to be reviewing is going to be A Rouge of Tub, Porter Robinson, Kira Kira Bonito's latest EP, maybe Taylor Swift, maybe Lil Yachty, maybe Sufjan Stevens, and then, oh my god, Weezer, Ice Age, The Black Keys, Sons of Kemet, 21 Pilots, Squid. I almost forgot to mention that. And at the end of the month, we also have Black Midi. I'm really looking forward to that album, really.